My name is Kanidina, and this is Guideline, my venture. All right, so here is the problem. So this is Mason. He's a student at ASU, and essentially he wishes he knew more professionals in his field, uh, so he could help start his career. He says it would be nice to hear from someone who was once in my shoes as a university student. So essentially, this is Mason, who is a student that lacks networking and lacks connections in his field. I could relate to Mason because I was once in his shoes doing a project on my own, and it was very difficult to get information and get opinions on this project and how to progress in this project that I was working on. So here is the solution. So Guideline is the solution, which is a platform for students and alumni. It would ideally be partnered by their respective university or college, and then this platform it would aim to essentially offer new opportunities to students, made possible by pre-existing relationships given by the universities. And then it could also offer opportunities for professionals or people who are like retired by helping them guide the next generation of students. So here's a little competitive analysis. These are currently programs offered by ASU or at ASU. Um, so we have the I Am Mentor program. Essentially, it's like a mentorship program for students and by students. So it's open to all students and it's free for all students, but it doesn't really connect students with career professionals directly. And then we have a quote given by Lena on the side there that basically introduces how the I Am Mentor program has hasn't really directly let them uh, meet a lot of industry professionals. And then we have the ASU Graduate College Mentor program. It's not open to all students because it's only open to graduate students, but it is free for the graduate students. And then also it does help them connect with their uh, grad professors, the graduate professors that help them connect with other people. And then there's my guideline platform, which would ideally check off each checkbox. So it would be open to everyone. It'd be free for the students, and then it would help them connect with people in their field. And then here's a revenue model. So obviously we have Dwayne. He says, you know what, I like the idea, and I think it's a good idea for a business, but how are we going to make a profit? So here's the here's the revenue model in mind. So obviously we would be free for the students, and then we would also be free for the career professionals or the mentors. But then we would turn to the universities like ASU or the colleges within ASU to essentially provide the revenue. And this is also seen throughout ASU's programs. So essentially, they pay for like a service or a software. For example, in engineering, we have SolidWorks, right? Or Slack. And essentially, ASU pays those companies uh, through a contract. And since it's based off of a contract, it would basically be a subscription-based revenue model. And then here's our go-to-market. So within ASU, there's 194 students, 194,000 students alone. Um, Ideally, how we would start as a company is we would start off within a college in ASU. So, for an example, we would start off with like engineering. So, Ira A. Fulton College of Engineering, which is a smaller branch within ASU. And then, if we have success within that college or within that branch, then we could go further and go into the entire university of ASU. And then maybe from there we could spread out throughout the state. Obviously, in state we have a large amount of students, and then from there, if we seek success in the state, then we could go to the nation, where there's millions of people um, in just 2024 alone. And then here would be the ideal lineup of team members. So we would have Kenneth as our founder. They would be leading the design decisions. Um, And then we would have like a software engineer, which would develop like a platform or develop a website where the students could interact on and with the career professionals. And then we would have like a service relations manager, which could maintain those contracts within the different schools. And then we could have a marketing manager, which would basically aim to get engagement within the school and like actually expose the idea to students. And then here would be our asking. So on initial startup, we would need to develop the website. And then we would also need to essentially maintain our team throughout the process of getting a contract. And so this contract, it could be really tricky because it could take multiple months for such a big contract within like a school or a university. So we would aim to at least do it in like 6 months or less. And I chose this because this would provide about like a semester's worth of time. Um, and then from there, once we had the contract, we could start proving to universities or colleges that, hey, our product works and it can help your students. And then from there, we could host like different on-campus events or advertisements. And then we could actually like get students at like on our platform within that following semester. So that's why I said at least 12 months because it gives us a range of 2 semesters basically, a school year of getting our audience and getting our platform developed basically. And then here's our closing. So now we have our graduate student or just our undergrad student that's finally getting their degree and they're saying, you know what? Now I know more people and now I have more opportunities waiting for me. Um, and so they're happy, they're cheerful. And yeah, thank you.